Hello and welcome. I'm here once again with Maria Arias. She is a licensed professional counselor. She's also a play children therapist and a parenting coach. And so, she's also my cousin. We were talking on the phone because we do that, and something happened. We were like, most people don't know what a child therapist is. And we were thinking, we need to explain this. So Maria, Molly, go for it. It's all yours.
Yes, good. So thanks. So we want to talk about play and the importance of play, and how is play therapy for children?
Yeah, how is it?
Yeah. So play, I think the bigger picture is that play is how we process emotions.
Never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember being a child and acting out things that were important to you. They might have been adventures or romances or something like that. And even as adults, when we watch a movie, we're acting out, watching a movie has the elements of play, and I'll talk about the elements of play, but as we watch a movie, we're sort of acting out like an adventure or a romance or something like that.
Okay, so I'm thinking of you, and I'm thinking of Little Women, obviously from the perspective of a librarian.
Yes.
And I remember, Joe and, Amy and Beth, and who else is there? Meg.
Aww.
They would actually, get up in the attic and play.
Mm-hmm.
And they would play out the roles that, that Joe had written, which were actually really, they were playing out. And then of course he brought Laurie in, which was, he became a new character in it. So as you're saying this is what I'm thinking. Am I totally off base, or am I kind of hitting?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. They were acting out emotions. Without play, we cannot process the emotions of our life, everyday life. Okay. So as a play therapist, the child is invited to play. I set up the room in a specific way, and you can see some of it behind me, like there's art and there's doll houses. And I also include aggressive play and other things like that are set up in a way that the child can go to which choice is calling them to which emotion they need to process. And when I say process, I mean that for them to explore that emotion and explore it and I'll let you ask, but explore it in a safe environment where they're not going to be in trouble. It's like there's no consequences.
So when you say you're exploring, does it mean, because as adults, what we do is, okay, I've got this emotion. I don't have time to deal with it. I need to put it down, cover it up, make sure that it stays somewhere within there, put a lid. And then at some point in time, and this is something that parents have been asking me a lot about, it's like, why does my lid flip? And, and parents literally feel that they're not being patient enough with their children. And I'm like, you have no idea how patient you are. You shouldn't have to be repeating this, 20 times.
Right.
So as adults, we don't play and don't take care of this. But first, let's get back to what you were thinking about, and then, add on to that.
What you're talking about, the frustration of parents, is so important. So we also need to release that frustration. So one of my teachers and gurus is named Dr. Gordon Neufeld, and he suggested to a mom one time that she said, oh, like you said, why do I lose my patience with my children? So he said to her, how much is a set of dishes? She said, $40. He said, can you buy one every 2 weeks, go in the back and break them? And that's a form of play. And she said she was so much more patient with her children. So understand that adults and children alike, we use play to get frustration out.
Okay. So as I'm thinking about this, let's just go back to what the therapist does. So what does a session look like with you?
Excellent. Yeah. So I assess for a few things. I look for what their nervous system is doing. So a child might tend to be very hyperactive, or they may tend to be more like hypo, which is the opposite of hyper. So I assess for their nervous system, and I start to watch and to model regulating through it. So if they come in and they start running around the room, I might notice how I feel when they're running around the room. And if I notice that they're hyper, I'll extend my exhale So we can do it now, like take a deep breath in.
Good.
And then the exhale needs to be extended. And that helps you calm down. And then the child eventually will start to match that and copy my breath, my deep breath. But if it's the opposite and the child is hypo, I will actually do the opposite with my breath. I'll make the inhale bigger so I can take a deep breath in. And just like a minimal exhale, like, and then another.
So the way I'm thinking of this, as we're talking about this, is the exhale is I'm getting rid of what I don't need, all that excess energy. And the inhale would be the I need more energy. Therefore, I'm acting in a very hypo way, which is, not very full of life, like just bringing more energy into my body so that therefore I can be more energetic, more.
Yeah, exactly. And even as I'm showing you, I feel more energized when I take a big inhale.
That is huge. And and that plays again into the brain. It totally does. I'm sort of thinking of it has to start calming both the reptilian part of our brain, which we've talked about before, and the limbic system, so that then the frontal cortex can actually start thinking in a more powerful way and not in a reactionary way.
Yes. And understanding is like when you talk about parents being frustrated, it's like we all go through this, like almost like cycles. Like we need to flush out the emotions regularly. So play is so important. It's so important for them and for us.
Thank God there's child therapists that, do play like you do. I am ever so grateful to you, Molly. So let's reconnect next week and we'll do the following one. How's that?
Okay.
And next week we can talk about play in the life of parents. And
that'd be great.
And then I was thinking, then maybe the following we can do the one on children and how they play and how it connects to school. How's that?
Perfect. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Donna.
Well, that's our routine. Talk to you then.